welcome to the Raymore City Council regular meeting for Monday, June the 22nd, 2026. I'll call the meeting to order and ask for the roll call, please.
Councilmember Baker?
Present.
Councilmember Barber?
Present.
Councilmember Burke?
Present.
Councilmember Circo?
Present.
Councilmember Ingert?
Present.
Councilmember Holman?
Present.
Councilmember McDonald? Absent. Councilmember Rowe?
Present.
Mayor Turnbow?
Present. We have a quorum. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we have no presentations or awards this evening or personal appearances on our agenda, so we'll move on to staff reports. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Salisbury to make a staff report for Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn, Mayor, members of council. Just a couple projects I'd like to highlight that are currently going on. The street preservation project is about half done. They should be back in the month of July to wrap that project up. The curb project is about a third done, and they're working through all of the roads and making good progress as well. The 58 highway project, the overlay project, should be starting hopefully in the month of July. Early July is what we're anticipating on that. So that'll get going, as well as several other projects that you have seen and will see tonight. On our operations side, they're working through all of their routine summer tasks, and paint striping will be here before you know it. So that concludes my staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Trent, as part of our agenda this evening, we have the recycling surfacing. How soon can they, if we approve this evening, how soon do you think they could get to work?
We are currently on their schedule for mid-July to end of July. With all of the rain we've been getting, they're starting to start pushing things back, but hopefully within the next 8 weeks at a minimum.
Okay.
Or maximum.
All right. Thank you, sir. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, Mr. Holman.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Salisbury, so I'm just checking my memory. We are going to let the project this year on the improvements to Dean Avenue and 58 with the raised median barriers and the new entrance to Walmart, or is that a year out?
Correct. So those contracts have been awarded, and we are actively working to get those through this summer and this fall.
We'll see those in the coming months then.
Correct.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Excellent. Anyone else? All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, sir. I would just like to kind of dovetail on all of the traffic items. We are also seeing significant delays in the start of some of these projects like 58. Any project that requires a flagger or traffic control is being delayed because of the World Cup.
Right.
So firms are actually being contracted out to provide those particular services at the World Cup all around the city, really. So we are seeing some delays due to that. Just wanted to let you all know. With that, I will ask Mr. Mustine to make a report for Parks and Rec.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, members of the council. I have submitted a written report, but tonight I want to focus on what's coming up in the next 14 days. We got a busy schedule. Starting tomorrow night, which is our weekly farmers market. We're averaging around 30 vendors at our farmers market right now over at TB Hanna Station. We changed the location. We're not underneath the shelter. We're actually on Adams Street, and the vendors seem to like it. It seems to flow really well. So come on out tomorrow night and every Tuesday night between now and the end of September for our farmers market. And then this week on Thursday, I'm going to skip over the scavenger hunt because I know Mrs. Harmer is going to talk a little bit about that, so I'll let her highlight that. But Thursday night, the 25th, is our Bricks and Block Party. We'll have a DJ there. We'll have food trucks. We're actually having some of our farmers market vendors attend. And then that'll be the unveiling of our Veterans Honor Bricks. And we have over 150 this year, so looking forward to that. Good kickoff to our 250th celebration. Friday night, the 26th at Hawk Ridge Park. That's a cooperative event with the Chamber of Commerce, Rock the Ridge. So the Chamber is going to take care of all of the fun part of the activities, and we're going to park cars and run trash for them and do a little cooperative effort there on Friday night. So Both events are rain or shine, and the only reason why we would postpone is if the weather's so severe and it puts anyone in danger. So we plan on moving forward. Then we'll take a little breather until next Thursday, where we'll come back at Johnny's for our Raymore 2.50, our fun run, fun walk, which starts at Johnny's, runs behind Price Chopper down Johnston through Hawk Ridge Park, back up Sunset, and we'll end with a party at Johnny's. So they're a great partner with us this year. Excited about that one. And then Friday night's the big night. July 3rd is our Spirit of America, where we will have our live band, our food trucks, our all of the inflatables for the children. We will have our watch party set up on Field 4 of the baseball fields for the World Cup match at Arrowhead Stadium that night. So parking all over the place. It's going to be great. We have a fireworks show display that night, so looking forward to that night. That's going to be a big one for our community. And then we'll wrap up our 250th celebration on Saturday, July 4th that morning for a parade, where the parade attendees will line up around the streets, Elm Street to Washington and Maple. Basically, we're going to wrap a big square around T.B. Hanna Station, start and finish at Memorial Park. And that'll wrap up 2 weeks worth of events. And we're ready. We just need the weather to cooperate, and we'll be there. And I am happy to answer any questions that the council might have for me tonight.
I know Friday is the Field of 32 match, and we're slated to have that, and the U.S. team made it into that.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't named a venue for them yet, so I don't know if they're going to be playing here or not, but
Yeah,
they may be playing. That
be
might
pretty exciting.
That might make the crowd a little bit bigger that
Change
night.
things a bit. Yes, sir, it
Yeah.
would.
Anyway, anybody else have any questions? Yes, Mr. Rowe.
Appreciate that update. Looking forward to Rock the Ridge in particular. Any update on the water at TB Hanna? I promised a constituent I would ask.
The spray ground?
Yeah,
It's been up for 2 weeks.
it's good?
Yes, sir.
Parts in?
Yes,
Excellent.
sir. We have one seal that's coming, but it's not affecting it. It's just when that part comes in, we'll shut down for a few hours, replace that seal, and keep rolling.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Baker.
Thank you. Any, I guess, plans for Friday night with the forecast of rain like throughout this week? I was at the amphitheater last Friday night. We had a great crowd for that. Every parking lot was overflowing, at least double what was in the parking lot was in the grass, all three areas I was looking at. But if we anticipate, I would anticipate a bigger crowd Friday night. Do we have anything with overflow parking or anything more
Yes, sir. We
organized?
actually are anticipating a larger crowd than what we typically have, just because of the events and the time of year for that. As a park staff, we will have 2 parking crews and then 1 additional crew in the. So we will put 1 staff member in the regular parking lot, the south parking lot with the restrooms, as a handicap lot, so that one person will manage those spots for handicap parking. And then the small lot for the maintenance drive, we'll have a parking crew there to park in the grass. And then we will also have a parking crew on Sunset on the paved lot, and then the overflow there. So we'll have 2 parking crews and a designated spot location for accessibility.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? All right, thank you. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Mr. Mustine. I would ask Ms. Harmer to make a report for communications.
Thank you, Mr. Fairborn. Just a little more on the scavenger hunt. That's the one event that you can do at your own pace throughout these 2 weeks, and that will go live tomorrow. So the clues will be on our website at raymore.com/250. There will also be pages at City Hall and at Centerview that you can pick up and do. There are 10 clues or 10 stops on the scavenger hunt throughout Raymore, and the clues include some history about Raymore as well. So hopefully everyone, even if they're a long-term resident, will learn something new about Raymore as they do this scavenger hunt, and then turn it in for prizes, which are displayed in the display case behind me. While supplies last, you can either win a Raymore 250 cooler tote or a picnic blanket. And After all of that, we do have a blood drive on Wednesday, July 8th at Centerview. Blood donations do save lives, and we are always just barely under meeting our goal for the blood that we collect. So I'm encouraging everybody who is able to donate to make an appointment or come out and walk in 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Centerview on Wednesday, July 8th. New art was just installed at the south end of Memorial Park near Lucy Webb Road. This sculpture is called The Feathers 3 by artist Kirk Sees. He's from Maryland, and the art will be on display through the spring of 2028. This is through the Raymore Arts Commission's temporary rotating public art program. First two Arts Commission concerts of the season were very well attended. The first was Sounds of South Kansas City inside Centerview. It was standing room only. We brought in chairs from outside. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud for Mr. Rastine to hear back there, but we used all the chairs we could, and then it was still standing room only, but it was a really wonderful show. The next show, they'll do one more show this summer at Centerview, and that's Thursday, July 9th. And then our first concert at the amphitheater was on June 12th with Elton Dan and the Rocket Band, which was also very well attended, probably the biggest I've ever seen, the biggest crowd I've ever seen there. Coming up, our next Friday night concert at the amphitheater is the Raymore Reggae Jam on Friday, July 10th. It's from 7 to 10 p.m., and it will feature 4 acts, including some DJs and the headliner, 77 Jefferson. And more information on that is available at raymore.com/arts. In addition to this, I did submit a written report in your agenda packet. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Harmon? Yes, Mr. Circo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I was there that Friday night and got there early, and I was handing out the magnet for the calendar events. I must have, I don't know how many, 100, 150, but I ran out. People are so enthusiastic about those. Everywhere I was going, yes, give me one, I want one. So I know we can give away more if we get them in, but a lot of people are really enthusiastic about getting their hands on these calendars like last year, so just FYI.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? All right, thanks. And Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Ms. Harmer. I would ask Mr. Murdoch to make a report on the Justice Center.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. We did hold our second engagement session last Thursday night, June 18th, for the Justice Center. We had advertised it through our email lists, our website, our social media, the Raymore Review. Unfortunately, it was lightly attended. We didn't have a lot of people who were showing up, but hopefully people are seeing it online because it is on the Justice Center website as well, along with the presentation that was given and the survey that was given that night. Those who did attend and those who have viewed it online are able to see the first concepts of the floor plans for the Justice Center. They're able to see site layouts, and they also have renderings of the entire project that are also available at this particular point. Kind of the next steps, the survey that is going right now will be open through the end of this week, just like it was through the first engagement session, so we'll leave it open for a full week. We plan on putting the large drawings out in the vestibule here on Wednesday so that people that are entering City Hall will also have an opportunity to engage with those if they would like, and then also view it on the survey. The City Council, you will have a work session this next Monday night where we will go in depth into those particular site plans with you, ask for any comments and feedback from the City Council. We will then compile all of those items together to produce a final product that PGAV and MWL will give us after the July 4th holiday, with a final presentation to the City Council on July 20th. That July 20th work session will be a final product presentation to the City Council. I would be remiss to not thank the staff who have been here over the last couple of weeks helping with these engagement sessions. We've had nearly a dozen staff members who have either done work on the project or who have stayed to answer any questions that people have had, including members of the PD, our development services, communications, finance, have all stayed for these engagement sessions. And I really do appreciate the staff engagement and the community engagement. The people who have come have asked really good questions and have provided really good feedback to us. And so we appreciate those who are interacting with this particular project. And we look forward to these closing essentially 4 weeks to get to that final product presentation for the City Council. Happy to answer any questions on the Justice Center if you have any.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. Anyone have any questions of Mr. Murdoch at this time? Seeing none, Mr. Fearborn, back in your lap.
Thank you. I would ask the city clerk to make a report to the council on fireworks.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The City Clerk's Office has received 6 applications for the sale of fireworks in the city. The applicants and locations of their sales locations are listed in the council packet. These applications meet the requirements as outlined in Section 215 of the Raymore City Code that governs the sale of fireworks. Issuance of the permits will be granted upon successful inspection by the Development Services Department and the Fire Marshal before the beginning of sales. Also included in the packet is a summary of those regulations that will be provided to each location at the time of inspection. The sale of fireworks is permitted from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. each day beginning on June 28th through July 4th. The discharge of fireworks is permitted July 1st through 3rd from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and on July 4th from 10 p.m. to midnight. That concludes my staff report. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Anybody have any questions of Ms. Hill? All right, thank you very much. Mr. Fearborn, anything else?
That concludes staff reports tonight, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to the agenda now. We have under the consent agenda, we have 3 items under a consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of any or all of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo,
I move to approve the consent agenda to include item A, City Council meeting minutes, June 8, 2026. Item B, Resolution 26-26, appointment to the License Tax Review Committee. And item C, Resolution 26-28, acceptance and final payment Broadmoor and Grandshire Drainage Project.
thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the 3 items on the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to unfinished business. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4037 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4037 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Gallagher Asphalt Corporation for the Recycle in Place project, City Project Number 26-505-201, in the amount of $484,314, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo,
I move to approve Bill 4037, award of contract, Recycle in Place project to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation.
thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4037. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4038 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4038 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending the fiscal year 2026 capital budget for the Recycle in Place project number 26-505-201 in the amount of $525,000.
Thank you, ma'am. As you know, this is related to the previous bill, but I would entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo,
I move to approve Bill 4038, budget amendment for the Recycle in Place project.
thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4038. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Can I please have the second reading of Bill 4034 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4034 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving and authorizing a contract with George Butler Associates, Inc. for the total amount of $89,462 for the design and construction oversight of the Good Parkway South Trail.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo,
I move to approve Bill 4034, award of contract for the Good Parkway South Trail design to George Butler Associates.
thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4034. Any further discussion? Mr. Baker?
Thank you. Maybe a question for staff, but reviewing the packet on page 96, but it says invoicing and payment, the consultant shall submit invoices in duplicate for services outlined Above in the scope of services under Appendix A, which is on the previous page, scope of services, and it says the actual scope of services will be finalized during the negotiations with the selected firm. I noticed that in this bill, and then in the one that follows this, there is a much more detailed scope of service in the watershed study on that one. In this one here, there's not a lot of, I think I heard more listening to the park meeting, what they were looking to do than what was in this contract. My concern is that for the size of this contract, 89,000 plus, the scope of service concerns me that we don't have a detailed plan or what we're asking for, or, really timelines. It spells out, the payment and all that, but turning to that page, is there something more that I'm not seeing, or is that something that?
Often when one is like this, we have to get the south study done before then we talk about what's going to actually happen with the trail portion of it. And now that's going to be expanded even more because, of course, we have to get far enough into the watershed study. So the scope of services for what the trail portion looks like will have to be done after we actually know what the study portion is done with it. We often have those A-B type projects.
Okay. And I guess just to maybe get this more for a feeling that I feel comfortable going to my constituents, can I offer a motion on this one, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
Okay. I move to amend Bill 4034 by adding the following condition. No notice to proceed.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, there's
Mr.
a
Zur.
motion already on the floor that's been seconded, I believe.
There is a motion that has been made and
So you could
seconded.
amend-
This was discussion, I'm sorry,
You could amend that
for the
motion.
item. You can amend the motion.
You could amend the current motion that's on the floor by a vote to amend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I need to
It's
read
a,
what?
it's a motion to amend.
It's a motion to amend.
Correct? We can make that motion
Absolutely, you can.
during the discussion portion. Okay. I think that's what you were doing.
It
wasn't
needs to be a motion to amend, that's exactly correct.
Okay.
So can I read it? Or?
I don't know. Did you say it right?
We'll go. If not, someone will stop me, right? Okay, so I move to amend Bill 4034 by adding the following condition. No notice to proceed shall be issued under this contract until the final negotiated scope of services has been completed and returned to the City Council for review and approval at a public meeting.
Okay, that seems pretty straightforward. Mr. Zur?
I think you're trying to amend the bill itself at that point. So if you wanted to, you could do a motion to amend the motion, and to that, add to it a condition for approval being the additional language, if you were so inclined.
Would that, I guess with the scope, obviously the scope of services are going to be dependent upon the watershed study at this point. So can we amend that to say that we don't necessarily have a notice to proceed legally in a contract saying that, we're not, because I'm just afraid now that, it could come back in 90 days and, hey, we need a form of payment because we've started on this. But I just don't want to get us in a position where we may potentially have to pay more or authorize changes because the study that's upcoming could affect the design of the trail.
So are you seeking to amend the motion to accept the proposed bill subject to the following condition?
Yes.
Is what I would put that as.
Okay.
Okay? And then you'd be looking for a second to do that.
Okay, what he said, right?
That sounds good to me.
The two together.
It's up to her if
Can
she
we
needs
add those up there?
So
You
is
don't
that-
have any of it? Okay.
So, Councilman Baker, I think what you'd be doing is a motion to amend the motion, approving Bill,
4034.
4039, and including within it the condition for approval, your suggestions. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
And the condition would be, you want to read the condition again?
Slowly.
I'll give you a copy afterwards. No notice to proceed shall be issued under this contract until the final negotiated scope of services has been completed and returned to the City Council for review and approval at a public meeting.
I'm still a little confused about what it is.
Well, basically, to me, to approve 89,000, I just would like, I don't feel good voting yes, not knowing what the 89,000 could be for at this point. And I feel that we know it's a design of a trail, but we don't know what parameters, we don't have the effects. I mean, to me, it's like we're buying a prepaid card for something, but we don't know what it's gonna cost. And we don't really know the details. And this just basically says, once the scope of services are determined, then we would be provided that, so we would have the deliverable for something for us to look
So
at.
you're asking the council to reconsider and vote on it again after this, after we voted on this? With a condition?
With the condition, yes. Because the scope of services are not defined at this point.
But I think that motion might be out of order, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't see how we can add a condition at this time.
Again, you're attempting to alter the contract at this point.
Right. But I think
ultimately
the
seeking to have it come
stipulation
back
on
for a
his
third
end
vote.
is that if we add the condition, then we have to bring it back before the council for approval.
For a third vote,
Yeah.
essentially. You haven't
Discussion,
gotten- you
Mr.
haven't gotten a
Holman.
se- well,
There
well,
isn't a
is there a
second on the motion.
Yes.
I don't, yeah.
And then there could be discussion, at which point you can inquire of staff and discuss amongst yourselves
All right.
the benefits and
Let's do
detractors of the
that.
proposed
All right,
amendment.
is there a second to the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Great.
I would point out
So
to
the
the
motion's
coun-
been seconded.
I would point out to the council, we are changing the conditions of the contract after an approval on first read without consulting with the vendor,
Good point.
There you go.
which is, the vendor may not accept this.
Yeah. So it's somewhat out of order in that we have kind of,
Approval would potentially present some issues going back with discussions with the vendor.
say that again?
Approval of the amendment would potentially create issues going back for discussions with the vendor.
Correct. Mr. Barber, discussion.
Yes, isn't this under the discretion of the park board? I mean, aren't we changing something that the park board has brought to us?
That's a good point. Is that the case? This
A
was,
change-
this was an item brought before and approved by the park board
It is a
first.
park board contract, and the park board, it's coming out of park board funds, so it would also have to go back to them with the same conditions.
Yeah, and I think we had some assurances 2 weeks ago from the vendor himself that said that they would, the two projects would work hand in glove. They wouldn't necessarily design something without having some initial information about the watershed study so that they could appropriately design and install that end of it. But yeah, go ahead.
So, and to the point of the park board, that is true. The park board read the initial trail design, but they were not made aware of a potential watershed study at time of reading of the trail design at the park board. My thinking there is maybe they might have thought differently too, that, hey, we have the chance to get this right, but we need to do the watershed study first before we design. They weren't given the opportunity to hear the watershed information, which they probably wouldn't at that group, but.
Good point. All right. Any suggestions from staff on proceeding?
The
There's
motion's
a
out
motion
there,
on the
sir.
floor, yeah.
Yeah, you have
The
a motion
motion
and a
is what it
second to
is,
amend.
right? Yeah. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to amend the original motion to add the condition
That final approval
for final approval.
come back before you all after further negotiations with the contractor, I think, after the scope of work has been completed.
Right. Got all that, you think? All right. I think we know what we're voting on. So we're voting on the motion to amend at this time. All those in favor of the motion to amend? 2 yes, those against? 5 noes. Amendment motion fails. I'll now go to the original motion to approve the second reading of Bill 4034. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? 5 yes, those opposed? 2 no. And I assume yours is for the same reason that Mr. Baker cited, your no vote?
Correct. I feel like we're putting the cart before the horse on this one.
Okay, thank you. Same with you, Mr. Baker, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, motion carries 5-2. So we'll now move on to the next item. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4040 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4040 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving and authorizing a contract with George Butler Associates, Inc. for the total amount of $86,316 for the evaluation of the Good Ranch watershed.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4040, award of contract, Good Ranch Watershed Evaluation to George Butler Associates.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4040. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4039 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4039 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Custom Lighting Services LLC, DBA Black and McDonald, to provide street light maintenance services.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4039, award of contract, streetlight maintenance to Black and McDonald.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4039. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4042 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4042 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, vacating an existing platted water line easement and accepting a water line easement on the property described as the Lofts at Fox Ridge, a subdivision of land located in the northeast quarter of Section 17, Township 46 North, Range 32 West, Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
There are no further questions on this item. I entertain a motion to dispose of it.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4042, Lofts at Fox Ridge Water Line Easement, Vacation, and Dedication.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4042. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. And the last item under old business is, could I please have the second reading of Bill 4041 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4041 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with VF Anderson Builders LLC for the Kurzweil Road Construction Project, City Project Number 26-451-201, in the amount of $4,836,185, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. Been a lot of discussion over this over the past couple of years, but I'll entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I moved to approve Bill 4041, award of contract, Kurzweil Road Construction Contract to VF Anderson.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will happily second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4041. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to new business. Could I please have the reading of Resolution 2627 by title only?
The reading of Resolution 2627 by title only, a resolution of the Raymore, Missouri City Council providing a procedure and schedule for establishing the Charter Review Commission as required by Section 14.8 of the Raymore City Charter.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. This resolution establishes the procedure and the schedule for establishing the Charter Review Commission for the purpose of completing the review of the charter. Section 14.8 Charter Review Commission, Raymore City Charter, Section 14.8, provides that from time to time, but no less than every 10 years, the council shall provide for a Charter Review Commission to review this charter and to make recommendations to the voters of the city. Essentially what this does, non-binding resolution of the council, it kicks off the Charter Review calendar, if you will. The details of the calendar are there within the resolution itself. This mirrors what has happened with the two previous commissions. Establishes how members are picked initially, the work session dates for narrowing those down to what will eventually be the 9 members of the commission. That concludes staff report. Happy to answer any questions, sir.
Yeah, and I know Mr. Burke served on the previous commission, and I'll remind everybody that there were 16 amendments to that. It was pretty well massaged with a couple of attorneys in tow. I had Mr. Zur there throughout the entire process, and as you know, one of our council members, Derek Moorhead, was a very agile attorney as well, was on that commission. They did a great job of going over every item within that commission charter, or within that charter, and I thought brought some great changes about that actually extended, I think, the life of the charter tremendously. I'm hoping it won't be as big a heavy lift as it was 10 years ago, having gone through that. I know staff has a couple of recommendations for looking at items within the charter, and maybe some of you all have some suggestions for charter review as well. But this really merely establishes the schedule and the timeline and the makeup of the charter. Hopefully, folks, once this is posted, those interested in serving in each of the 4 wards will be putting in some applications for serving on that charter. We already have some interest, and so it's exciting to see that we already have several people that are interested in serving on the charter, as is Mr. Burke again. So he can bring a lot of historical perspective to that as well, I think. Anyway, with that said, are there any further discussion or any questions of staff on this particular item? If there are none, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of Resolution 26-27.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Resolution 26-27, establishing a procedure and schedule for establishing the Charter Review Commission.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve Resolution 26-27. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4043 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4043 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with T-Knock Construction, Inc. for the 2026 sidewalk replacement project, city project number 26-503-201, in the amount of $64,725, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I'd ask Mr. Salisbury to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Mayor, members of the council, tonight before you is the award of contract for the 2026 sidewalk replacement project. This project primarily consists of removal and replacement of existing sidewalk, as well as the installation of a new trail from Price Chopper to where the trail ended with the Sunset construction. We did receive 4 bids, and T-Knock Construction was considered the lowest and best bidder, and staff does recommend award of contract in the amount of $64,725. That concludes my staff report, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Salisbury. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Salisbury? Yes, Mr. Baker.
Just kind of a question. The contract amount 64,000, budgeted 125, whatever. Do we have the ability to add additional sidewalks to this, or how does?
We do and we will, sir.
Okay, good.
Anyone else? If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4043, award of contract 2026 sidewalk replacement project to T-Knock Construction Incorporated.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve Bill 4043. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4044 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4044 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Infrastructure Solutions LLC for the Owen Good Force Main Phase 2 project, City Project Number 26-490-201, in the amount of $834,600, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I'd ask Mr. Salisbury to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Mayor, members of the council, tonight before you is the award of contract for the Owen Good Force Main Replacement Phase 2. If you recall, we did replace about 2,000 feet of this line last year. This is the continuation of that. So this would be 781 feet of the same line, as well as boring under Hubach Hill and North Cass Parkway. We do believe that this will address our major area of concern and anticipate next year possibly doing a CIP project to investigate and make sure that there are no other problem areas. But for this contract, we will be doing that section and should get the worst of it. We did receive 3 bids, and Infrastructure Solutions was determined to be the lowest best bidder, and staff does recommend award in the amount of $834,600. That concludes my staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Salisbury. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Salisbury at this time? If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4044, award of contract Owen Good Force Main Replacement Phase 2 to Infrastructure Solutions LLC.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4044. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4045 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4045 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with T-Knock Construction, Inc. for the City Hall Refresh Project, City Project Number 26-484-201, in the amount of $195,777.50, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I'll ask Mr. Salisbury to make this last report.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Mayor, members of the council, tonight before you is the award of contract for the City Hall Refresh Project. The City Hall parking lots are reaching the point of needing repair, and the concrete where the parking stalls was installed in 2010 and has held up very well and been very successful. So we felt this would be a good time to convert the parking lot to concrete as well. So the main drive aisles will be converted to concrete. City Hall also does experience a lot of cut-through traffic from Broadmoor to Skyline, and so part of this project will be installing a raised crosswalk at the end of the bricks to the first island in the City Hall parking lot in an attempt to cut down on cut-through traffic. We did receive 2 bids for this project, and T-Knock Construction was considered the lowest and best bidder. And staff does recommend a award of contract in the amount of $195,777.50. And that does conclude my staff report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of Mr. Salisbury? Yes, Mr. Rowe.
So this is more of a, something I just caught while we were looking at both of these. Both the sidewalk replacement, we went with T-Knock Construction. And what you're proposing is that we go with T-Knock Construction here. They were by far the lowest bid. And in fact, Freeman Construction was twice as much on both projects. And we considered not reaching out to Freeman for future bids. I mean, it almost looks like the scope is so vastly different. I'm concerned they're not even comparing apples to apples. Their bid on the parking lot was $388,000. T-Knock won at $195. That's $192K difference.
Correct. We don't dictate who does and doesn't bid on these projects. They're put out to open bid. It's been my experience, Freeman is always very high on their bid. I can't answer for why. We have worked with T-Knock in the past. It's been quite a while now, but we have worked with them, and they do very good work.
I guess the last point I'll make is, when considering those particular folks, and if we get to a point where Freedom is the one and only bidder, I sure hope that we look for other bids, because they're probably way high. That's my only point. Thank you.
Did you have anything to add, Mr. Fearborn?
No, sir, I was gonna, Mr. Salisbury made the point. We can't really limit who's gonna bid, but
Sure.
we certainly do a very extensive job of reviewing the bids that come in here for things just like that, sir. And we do have the ability to throw bids out if we consider. We obviously get engineers' estimates ahead of time. That particular company normally, as Mr. Salisbury indicated, is in that range, and that range is always significantly over our estimated unit price. So basically, if it doesn't smell right, we're gonna throw it out.
Anyone else have any questions? Yes, Mr. Burke.
The raised crosswalk, that's going to have the pavers on it, is that correct?
It will be a colored concrete. It will not actually be pavers.
Oh, okay, great. Also, I wanted to say that my comment on that is I do like that we'll slow the traffic down on the inside of the circle slower than the actual circle goes. I almost got run over by a local reporter that was coming here to do a story. They were almost late for our meeting. First time I ever saw him before he was on the news.
Anybody else have any questions? Yes, Mr. Baker.
I guess from my standpoint, when I first saw this on here, I guess need and want, one of our top topics of the surveys that we do is our infrastructure and our city roads and all that. I just have a concern. I've had people, contact me and talk about roads, not about this because this is brand new, but I'm afraid of the message that, our parking lot, I've seen places, I think if we have a speed issue, adding a speed hump over asphalt is a temporary fix, but one that many municipalities do on residential roads and all that to slow down traffic. My concern would be just that, by doing this and putting in concrete, I understand the long-term aspect of it. We've talked about doing it on Dean and other roads that are high traffic. But how much more residential street could we get for $198,000 to further bring down some of the roads that we need repaired in this town? What would be the priority? I'm just concerned that, we do have people come up here, but we probably have people traffic roads much more than coming up to City Hall. And that way, I'm just a little bit concerned about, is this, why now, and when we have other things that are in the need and all that. So just my 2 cents on that.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? If there's no further questions, entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo.
I move to approve Bill 4045, award of contract City Hall refresh to T-Knot Construction Incorporated.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4045. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? 6 yes, opposed, 1 no. And I assume for the comments you said? I got you. All right. Well, that concludes new business this evening. We'll now move on to public comments. If anyone from the public would care to address the council at this time, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. See no one coming forward, so we'll close the public comment section and move on to mayor-council communication. Mr. Circle, I'll start with you tonight, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Basically, just touching back on the event last Friday night. It was fantastic, a lot of people. Great band, a lot of enthusiasm. People are looking forward to this year and what we do as a city for that. I really do. And like I said, hundreds of those magnetic schedules through October. They're very excited about getting those. So the people are very enthusiastic. And I think what we're doing in the future with the parks and getting these things done and the watershed and the different problems, we're just moving forward where we need to be to keep the people happy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Barber.
I have nothing. I'll yield my time tonight.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rowe?
Wanted to ask the chief, did they get the guy?
Just as a few minutes ago, we did get the guy.
All right,
So,
great news.
ran
Great
more
work this
officers,
afternoon as well.
Took the gentleman into custody, and he'll be released to Lee Summit. So we had a lot of officers presence from 4 or 5 different agencies up in Creekmore. Raymore, our main goal was just perimeter. Any worry of the community, it was failed to yield to the highway patrol, and that subject was taken into custody. So that threat is removed now.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Inkert?
I have nothing for this evening, sir.
All right. Mr. Holman?
Let's start off with a question for staff with your leave, sir.
Sure.
Okay. Mr. Fearborn, regarding Butler and Associates, you and staff vetted that vendor thoroughly, correct?
We did, sir.
And you've done this for a number of years, right?
As have they, sir.
Yeah, and there's nothing in their background to indicate that they would slough off or not give us their full effort on that, correct?
No, sir.
I trust you, Mr. Fearborn. I trust all 100 members of our staff. They've done this for a long time. They know what they're doing. The man gave us his assurances. If we had a situation where a vendor or a contractor did short us on services, didn't do the work or the scope that we needed, and was trying to squeeze more money out of us, we would certainly respond to that, would we not?
We have and we would, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Burke?
I got a few compliments on the band. I didn't get a chance to see that. I was working out in Kansas City, but I did hear enough that I was like, I hope we'll maybe have this person back so I can see him next year, because I used to love Elton John. But and then the other thing I wanted to say, I'm only going to say it once. I'm not going to say it 250 times, but USA.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Baker?
Thank you. I'd like to echo the comments on Friday night. My wife and I were both there at the concert. Huge crowd. You could tell people really enjoyed that. There was a lot of people that had a really good vibe that night. That the band was very good. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this Friday. It's a band that was there last year that drew a big crowd last year as well. And with the additional activities that are being planned that day, I just hope the weather holds off and we can pack the house out there and really show off our amphitheater, show off the park, get people from outside, Raymore even coming in there. That would be the best thing we could do and get more exposure into that. That is all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you, sir. That concludes our comments. I have nothing further to add this evening as well, so I'd entertain a motion to move into executive session.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Circo?
I move to enter into executive session for purposes of discussing litigation matters pursuant to Section 610.021(1) of the revised statutes of Missouri.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Motion's been made and seconded to move into executive session. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Barber?
Yes.
Councilmember Burke?
Yes.
Councilmember Circo?
Yeah.
Councilmember Ingert?
Yes.
Councilmember Holman?
Yes.
Councilmember McDonald absent. Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
We will now move into executive session. Once we adjourn from executive session, we will come back out to regular session for adjournment only. Thank you.